stock, crypto, credit moves. Good afternoon, YouTube. We're back for another video. This video will be a little bit off topic. It was a request from a loyal subscriber. Transitioning from a 9-to-5 to an entrepreneur. So that change starts inside your mindset. In order to switch from an employee to an entrepreneur, you have to think differently, because you're no longer going to have a job direct depositing a check every 2 weeks, or how many times you get paid, once a month or twice a month. So you have to have a mental evaluation. How you're going to keep your lifestyle going as an entrepreneur. I would suggest that you start your transition when you're actually working, as it's going to be far less stressful. The main reason why most people don't make it in business is they lack cash flow. They jump out here too early and they get themselves involved in businesses that have a lot of expenses off top. So it's just best, in my opinion, to start it when you actually have a job. And you can start that by having multiple side hustles. So just different ways you can create cash flow until you get close to replacing, or you actually replace your salary. The biggest reason why, in my opinion, why most businesses fail is for lack of planning and lack of capital. So you definitely don't want to rush this process because there's nothing wrong with the job. Most people start off with jobs because we weren't born wealthy. So there's nothing wrong with the job. You use your job to leverage into business. So the next thing will be, how are you going to create this money? Are you going to use real estate, rental properties? Are you going to use cryptocurrency? Are you going to actually start a business where you're providing services to the public? So this all is all around how you're going to build your business. And then you want to have a business that's already operating before you leave your job. I definitely think this strategy is the least stressful way to do it, because you're walking into a business that's already sustaining itself, instead of leaving your job and your cash flow is not sufficient. The next important thing is money management. That's one of the biggest one. How you going to manage your money? One thing that's good about a job is you know how much money you have coming in every 2 weeks. So if your check is $2,000, $1,500 biweekly, it's easier to plan to pay bills because you know how much your rent is, how much your food is every 2 weeks. When you're an entrepreneur, all those responsibilities are on you. So now, as an entrepreneur, your income is turbulent. You have great months, you have okay months, you have good months. So how are you going to pay your bills? I suggest just getting ahead on your bills. Like, this is what has worked for me when I transitioned several years ago. Before I even left my job, I was ahead on my rent and all my bills 4 to 5 months. And I stay ahead on my bills several months. So I'm not if I have a slow up with my income, I'm not stressed out over bills because I got 160 days positive where my rent or mortgage is paid, cars paid. So it's best to have a significant amount of savings, or you've paid your bills ahead so your personal bills can be floated in times when your business slows up. So as an entrepreneur, you want to buy time. Time is very important. You want to buy time during the tough times. So if you're operating at 160 day ahead, it's easier to maintain your life, because the last thing you want to do is stress about paying personal bills and stress about paying business bills. Hopefully this is making a lot of sense so far, guys. The next important thing is you want to provide a need that is recession proof. I think that's very important. Providing a need that is recession proof. What I mean by that, there are some businesses that flourish whether the economy is good or bad. You want to attach yourself to something that's recession proof. So even during down times, you're still making money. A lot of businesses get exposed because they only do well during certain seasons, which is fine. So if you have a seasonal business, you need to have other income producers in order to float your business during the slow times. So you can do it with seasonal businesses, but you just have to have something else to fall back on. The next thing is just not relying on one way to make money. As I've kind of talked about that already, multiple streams of income. The good thing about transitioning to an entrepreneur in 2022, there's a ton of ideas to make money. You can become a trader. You have cryptocurrency. You have Uber. You have Lyft. We live in a gig society. They even allow you to rent out your car now on eToro. So there's tons of opportunities to make money. You're not at a shortage. You have to just figure out, what can I do to become recession proof? And the only way you can become recession proof is by having multiple streams of income. You're not relied on one. So those are the main steps. My last step that I want to go over is growth. And it's big because what cut it today may not cut it tomorrow, guys. I think you just have to get in the mindset of having a backup plan. If this goes down, what am I going to have to replace it? Because you're your own boss. So you don't have anybody that's cheering you on. You don't have anybody backing you up. You are the boss. So when you work for yourself, you have to always have something else to pull from, whether it's having a substantial amount of savings or you have multiple streams of income that you can tap into. So it's just having different ways to make money. Maybe you want to be a process server. That's a good hustle. Maybe you want to be a notary. That doesn't take up a lot of time. Just throwing out different ideas that can make you recession proof. A process server and a notary is going to have business whether the economy is good or bad. And some of these things may not be the most desirable, but it's cash flow. And cash flow is what allows you to remain an entrepreneur, because you got to have that cash coming from different ways. You no longer have a paycheck that's being deposited. So you got to create your paycheck. So let's go through this 12 steps on entrepreneur.com and see exactly what they say. 12 steps you'll need to become your own boss. Sometimes you have to think bigger than being your own boss and just think, okay, I'm my own boss, and what else can I do to make money? So when I'm sick or I want to take a break, I still got cash coming in. That's why I discussed on a previous video, you need to be an investor and an entrepreneur in order to be able to take breaks. Because if not, you've actually went from working at a job to owning a job, and that's no good. Number one, determine what you like to do. That's very important. Some people call this finding a passion. but it's more to it than that. This is about your skills, abilities, and experiences. Consider what you can realistically see doing for hours each day, weeks, and years. Just have a long-term mindset. Myself, what freed me from the rat race is credit repair. Credit repair is recession proof. During Corona, my income was at its highest, believe it or not, where most businesses during Corona failed, but mine increased because it's such a need. A lot of people need credit repair. They were trying to buy houses and refinance their house mortgages and buy cars. So there's a big need. If you learn how to become a credit repair specialist, you'll never go hungry because it's good whether the economy is good or bad. Think about what others are willing to pay. That's very important. You always want to put your prices where you're not too cheap. If you have too much business, then that means you're too cheap. You want to find a sweet number that's actually good for you and the client. And you'll find it just by trying. Design your marketing plans. Set up your business on a small scale. Asset feed and adjust. Assemble a team. It's always helpful if you can find someone else to assist you in your business so it's not all on you. Sometimes from the beginning that's not available because you're not making enough money to pay someone else. But it's always good, even if you are doing your business on your own, you want a scale where you have other people to help you out with your business. You don't want to be where you're the doer for everything. You want to have a team. Securing finances. Having great credit definitely will help you out. Being an entrepreneur, if you have enough available credit, there may be times where you have to float your business or your personal expenses on credit cards. And I'll do a video on how to live off of credit cards in the future. There's strategies where you can live off your credit cards. I've done it. I didn't have to, but I just wanted to test out different methods. So credit cards are very valuable as an entrepreneur. If you know how to use them, you can actually live off your credit cards. And I mean, credit cards are actually cash flowing money in your pocket every month. Set up structure of your company. It should have already been done, but your structure is important. Not going to cover that in this video. Leave your job, set up a working budget. Scaling is definitely important. You definitely want to scale. The benefit in scaling is you have less responsibility on yourself. The downside, you may have to hire more people. You have to be ready for growth. I've been in business for myself many years, and sometimes the growth you're not ready for it mentally. So the biggest takeaways from this video, guys, you definitely want to keep your personal bills low. You want to have multiple streams of income to pull from in order to pull off this transition. And just changing your mindset. You're no longer going to have that paycheck coming in every 2 weeks. Some people, that's very scary. You know, how are you going to create cash flow when your business is slow or business is down? Think about those things. How do I transition mentally? Because a lot of us are so used to paychecks. So when that paycheck goes away, it's kind of intimidating for some people. How am I going to make it without my job? Am I going to have 6 months to a year saved? Or am I going to have side hustles with income coming in to pay my bills? You kind of need a combination of both. So I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just giving out information as to how I'm successful. Like, share, subscribe, comment. And until next time,